My name's Jeff Russell. I've been with Fire Service 21 years with Johnson Township Fire Department.
And my name is Max Stidham. I'm the chief of the Franfort Fire Department, and I also work here at Clint County EMA. I've been in the fire department for 25 years, and I think I've been EMA now for about 8 years.
My name is Dylan Hennedy. I am a private with Franfort Fire Department, and I've been with the department for 4 years.
The various chiefs in the county, and they have a meeting once a month or quarter or something, I think, where all the chiefs get together and talk about it. And I've heard rumors come back out of that meeting since I started, and the various chiefs, as they come and go, somehow it gets a little farther, and a couple of administrations ago, they were able to secure a couple of containers, but they couldn't get the funding to get them put together and whatnot. So, and then Matt took over, and
he's exactly right. So how it all kind of played out for us was, in, like I said, 2019, Jeff kind of came to me and we kind of collaborated together. And I think we both just decided this is something we're going to do. We're going to figure out how to do it. So instantly, one of the things that I started to put together, because I know Jeff was kind of like, hey, you take care of the funding, I'll take care of the manufacturing, building this, that sheet. So I started approaching city organizations. I started approaching city government, county government, and asking for help. We had both city and county step up and give us some money to go towards it. We've had some community leaders in Clinton County area said, hey, here's places that may give you donations. We've had Good Oil was a big one. They did a fundraiser at their gas station to where everybody could donate money as they went, and they did that for a while. It raised quite a bit of money as well. And we was in a good position. We really started out in a good position, and then COVID happened. And when that happened, I got the phone call from Jeff that says, hey, the price of metal is changing. This is going to change. This is going to change. And so that's when we found we had lack of funding. We started with the containers. He worked very hard on them, got the containers put together. And one of the big things was after COVID happened is when we approached the Community Foundation with their grant and was saying, hey, we've got this much. We've done this in our community. We've done this with our governments. How can you help us? And you guys awarded us the grant of $70,000, which was allowed us to actually complete the facility. And that's one of the things that, I feel like we're blessed with, is not only that our community come together, but also as a community foundation, you guys seen and understood our desires to keep our community safe and keep our resources in our community. Well, kind of just to make it real kind of broad is rope rescue. We do all types of rope rescue training. We can do down firefighters. As you've seen today, we can do live fires. We can do extrications out here. We can do roof ventilation. He's built the props for forcing doors.
When we designed the facility, we set several meetings, and of course we drew up plans, and we talked about this or that. I want to make sure that recruit classes could do every single skill out here. Recruit classes, there's 200 some odd skills that they have to do. In the past, we had enough little, some of them you can do without a facility like this, ladders and ropes, you can tie knots and stuff. But there was, when we come up with 40-something skills that we couldn't do in the county. So we wanted to make sure that we could incorporate at least those 40 skills so that we can train our own guys and gals out of here without having to leave the county. So there's several, the live fire, the second floor, the being able to, like I said, now with firefighters, save our own kind of thing. We had to do all that. Car fire, we had to be able to do the different types of stairs. And then we sat on top of that, well, what else we got? Franfort mentioned that they wanted to be able to utilize their aerial, their ladder truck, their rope teams. They have confined space teams that they want to be able to train as well. So we've added different props in on some of that stuff. What else do you think of that, Dana?
I think going just beyond the actual skill set that you practice, this is a place where you can come and you can even train your bike. You can practice in full gear going upstairs with tools. You can practice throwing a ladder if you have to do it as a solo or a team effort. And this facility provides the opportunity to do that as well, apart from the actual skill that you're practicing, which is just, in my personal opinion, that's just as important.
We got the movable walls, the metal floor, and we try to do what we need to do. We create different scenarios, different room setups. We have this is another firefighter survival prop right here. Mm-hmm. This will be if firefighters trapped in a room can't get out for whatever reason. We call it a wall breach.
I think the great thing about this facility is that it allows for such a broad range of versatility. It's not just fire related. It's an that we can practice and train on and really hone those skills. I mean, we can throw rape systems into the mix. We can set up various hazmat situations if that's what we so decided to do. So it's not just one area of skill set that we're able to come out here and really hone in. But to include, volunteer services and getting familiar with those faces as well, because when they call for us, they are in really, dire situation. And so to have a familiar face come and, know that that's who's helping out, that's that much easier for them as well. But no, I think just having that overall versatility and really honing in the overall skill set as opposed to just being, one side of it is the most beneficial.
Right, yes.
And one of the things that I would like to add to that, and I know that this was, Jeff and I, again, we had several other committee members, so I don't want to leave them out as well. It wasn't just us. We did have a full committee, but one of the things that our community really talked about was how do we have that interoperability? And that was a big concern of ours. And it wasn't just the interoperability between us and the volunteer fire service. It was us, it was law enforcement, it was EMS, it was dispatch. How do we get us all to be more integrated and be able to facilitate a large-scale scenario or a large-scale incident that we all are familiar with how this process is going? Because what we ran into a lot was we train in the fire service, but we don't train with the law enforcement because law enforcement has their own areas they go. We don't train with the EMS all the time. We don't have dispatch involved all the time. And this facility really gives us kind of that complete 100% area to where all of us can now work together. We can put situations together. One of the big things that law enforcement wants to do right now, and I think we're all very intrigued and want to be a part of it, is like active shooter stuff. We don't have a lot of that education with us merged together on how we're going to work together. Now, we all know how to handle that situation, but I know how to handle the fire side. Law enforcement know how to handle the law side. So that's one of the biggest benefits that I think you're going to see come out of this facility is that our agencies are going to be able to work together more hand to hand and have an understanding of what everyone's role is. One of the other big things is we did include we did include the fact that we want other counties around us to come in and utilize facilities. Mm-hmm. That's very big for us. We know that the states come out, so they're going to put facilities so far away from places. And we've approached them about this becoming a state side as well. But we want to make sure, regardless of what the state does, that we have that same opportunities for, towns like Burlington, towns like Florida, to be able to come in and utilize this facility as well.
Kelly just said something to read this morning about Kelly and use the facility. So it's Carroll County. Just wanted to set up a weekend, come down and train some of their guys in. So
Nice.
they don't have access to anything like this.
Yeah.
Again, they would have to go Lafayette, Kokomo, Louisville, sort of like that as well.
Franfort does. We do have a rescue team, so we could actually utilize this for our recovery, where we teach individuals how to get out of multi-story houses, businesses. Another thing to keep in mind is SWAT team as well. They can utilize this because they do recovery as well. And that's one of the reasons why Seth integrated a lot of the balconies too, is give them access and how they're going to make access into, something that's 3 or 4 stories tall. Even though we don't have a lot of those here in county, we do have structure to that.
We can do different scenarios here. We have little removable sections of the rail, so we can ladder up to here. The law enforcement said they wanted to be able, they have a SWAT vehicle, they wanted to be able to come up to the building and step off the top of their SWAT vehicle. They can come out the roof, so they can pull up, they can step off. They got 2 doors, they can go do their thing.
On the interior, speed light. Got ventilation guys ready.
I think, and this is my personal belief, that it's our greater purpose as individuals to help, and especially anybody in need. When you come together as a group and a community, looking out for each other in any way they can, like with what you guys have done through your efforts, the broad expanse that's going to reach, and I think that it should just be at the core of every individual to want to pursue that, as opposed to seeking something for one's personal gain. But that's just my opinion.
No, I think that was great. I was thinking the same thing. Well, it's community helping community. And that's what it is. And it's not about a funding all the time. The fact is, obviously, one of the most important things to get a project started. But it's how we continue to evolve this program and how we continue to help not only our first responders, our community, but how we help our community.
Yes.
Yeah, by helping our first responders, it's going to make the community, it's going to influence them tenfold. What if I can teach Dylan or Matt one thing, well then Dylan and Matt can go out and practice that doesn't.
Yeah.
And they can have that much more impact on the community just by having somewhere to be able to teach that type of stuff.